We
Once
back,
again,
gentlemen.
ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it once again. We are never thirsty. We are here live, bringing you the latest in non-desperation chatter. Here at Never Thirsty, we believe always to stay hydrated. I'm Stu Stone. Always stay hydrated. I always carry a beverage with me, usually a peach Snapple, sometimes a vitamin water, but I always have a drink with me wherever I go. I bring a drink with me to dinner parties, to special occasions, to not so special occasions. I don't show up somewhere unless I am comfortably aware of the fact that I will never be thirsty, and you do not want to be thirsty, folks, because that is a sign of desperation.
That's
And it's
very
so
true.
easy to avoid. With me is the Thirsty, Neffy Neff, the last, not the first, well, maybe one of the first, but the
What's up,
last
fellas?
B-boy, the last American B-boy. Neff, how are you, man?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain. I can't complain. Can you guys hear me
And
with the
you, of
mic is
course,
like
are,
this?
yeah, no, I can hear you.
Okay.
And you are in the New York, you're in New York right now, right?
I am for limited time only.
You're in New York for a limited time, like McRib, for
That's right.
limited time only.
Exactly.
And
Very limited.
and joining us from Dusseldorf, as always, the very bizarre one, a producer in his own right, and a guy that is making quite a name for himself in the world of hip hop music. The wonderful Wire Fang.
What's good, fam? What's good? Big up,
What's up, Wire Fang?
big up, big up.
How's Dusseldorf?
Dusseldorf is good. I'm at Cafe Extrablatt in Dusseldorf, chilling. I'm right next door. I just ordered my burger. I'm chilling.
How do you
Making
eat or
beats.
drink the burger? How you gonna eat or drink?
that's
Not drink the burger, but
With the straw.
okay.
How do you eat a burger?
So with his mouth in his hands.
Thank you very much.
I would hope so.
Yes.
Now you were in New York. Let's talk about something that went. Let's talk about something that went down in New York recently. There was another one of those. There was another one of those editions of Verzuz. You weren't expecting me to say that.
Yes, I was.
That had Fat Joe and Ja Rule.
Yes.
Kick each other. I saw some highlights of it, and I don't know what to make of it, but it looked like it was a good time for those who were there. So, what do you think of it?
Well, I thought it was awesome, the battle. I gotta give it to Ja Rule though, as far as Victor.
Really?
Yeah, I have to. He did his thing. He was the.
These are two artists that are very interesting to battle with each other because yes, they were both very popular during a certain period of time, and Fat Joe definitely is still relevant, still putting out songs in the last few years that have made it to the top of the charts. So, but you're talking about two artists that were overshadowed a lot by guys that were in either with them directly or indirectly. So like Ja Rule, obviously, DMX around the same time, very popular, very similar, sort of not the same artist at all, but there's a comparison to be made with their delivery and their voice.
Yeah.
And of course, Fat Joe was with Big Pun. And so, I would say that like Diddy was with Biggie, right? And when Biggie passed away or when Biggie was killed, prematurely, Puff Daddy became a rapper and sort of like made it work, right? But when Big Pun died, Fat Joe was already a rapper, so maybe he just had an easier transition to be even more of a rapper. You know what I mean? Like Fat Joe has some big hits post Big Pun. Lean Back is probably one of the biggest songs of the 21st century, amongst others.
They both had hits. They both, Ja Rule and Fat Joe had hits, but the only thing is Ja had the ladies, he has those hits. So he just had a few more of them that I think Fat Joe had. And I respect Fat Joe and I respect Ja Rule. But if I had to weigh it out, he had more of he could just keep, Ja kept coming with him. coming with him.
What was the song that Ja Rule had with Jennifer Lopez? Do you remember what song I'm talking about? Maybe it's called Always on Time. Is that what it is?
Is that Jennifer Lopez? No. WireFang. Hold on.
I'm always on time. That's not Jennifer Lopez?
No, fam. This is Shanti.
No.
Oh, that's Ashanti. That's Ashanti.
Yeah.
J-Lo, Ja Rule. Let's find out because I have a story.
Are you L.E.?
Oh, I'm Real is the song. I'm Real. Remember that song?
Oh, yeah. That's the record. If you'd have brought J-Lo out.
I'm real. Oh, you don't say what you want. So here's a funny story about that real quick before we get to today's guest. But a friend of mine, Christina Milian, who wrote that track or wrote on that track, she had hit me up saying like, hey, you want to come to the studio and like write with me on a song? Are you guys still there?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, you hear me? Because you guys are frozen. She said, hey, you want to come write with me on a song? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And I had an ex-girlfriend at the time, a girlfriend who was like, no, you're not going to that session. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, who else is going to be there? And I'm like, what does it matter? And she's like, no, you're not going to that. And so I didn't go to the session.
Wow.
And it turned out to be that song. So maybe it wouldn't have been as good of a song if I came and messed it all up. Or maybe it would have been even better.
You would have been on the Verzuz with Ja Rule yesterday or 2 days ago.
Exactly. But obviously Christina has a huge writing career that people probably don't even realize. But, because she's also a reality star and has her own singing career.
Wow.
She was a writer before she was a pop star. She was writing stuff for Jennifer Lopez, amongst other artists. So,
and this is a good friend of yours.
Yeah, I know her from back in the day. So she's cool.
Oh,
very
maybe
cool.
she'll be on the show. Christina, we need you on the show.
I doubt it, but maybe.
No. I'm putting energy out there.
But yeah, not with that attitude. But yeah, we do have a guest that is going to be joining us. WireFang looks frozen to me, so I don't know what's going on.
He's good. My beats are cold, son.
Oh, his beats are cold. He's got his burger, his straw burger coming. For people who are watching that want to know how to get into this new economy in the music business, there's a new economy.
Yes.
And it's not about necessarily sales anymore. We've established that.
No.
And even, it's a lot to do with merch. We've talked about that with Danny Gez. But even still, with like touring slowed down over the last year, like even merch took a hit. But there is one thing that obviously streaming, but there's obviously another sort of way for artists still to make money, and that is to have their songs in movies and television shows. And a lot of people are like, how do you do that? How do I get my song in that? Who do I talk to? What do I do? I want to have my song on a TV show.
Never thirsty. Never thirsty.